please, I'm begging you. The verdict is in, folks. The gavel is dropped. Please stop talking about John Roberts as the swing vote. John Roberts is not the swing vote. He's a liberal. He is a dyed-in-the-wool liberal. He's not a swing vote on anything. He's a liberal. The court has a 5-4 liberal bet. But then he was appointed by a Republican. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't care that George W. Bush appointed him. He is a dyed-in-the-wool, full-blown lib. What happened yesterday in the Supreme Court? I didn't get a lot of time to talk about it. I don't want to beat it to death today, but I wanted to give you, I owe you a better analysis because there's more rulings coming down today as well. Trump's taxes and elsewhere. It's a great piece in the Wall Street Journal, which describes the fraud Chief Justice Roberts is. It's called One Man's Supreme Court by the Wall Street Journal's editorial board. The Chief Justice relies on an abortion precedent he dissented from? No way. Really? So let me get this straight. There was a case, to give you kind of a brief synopsis, in front of the Supreme Court, was ruled on yesterday, where Louisiana had a law that said if you are going to be an abortion doctor terminating life in the womb, then like every other medical professional in the state that engaged in these intrusive procedures, you had to have admitting procedures to a hospital in case it was an emergency. Basically saying that abortion providers should be treated like any other healthcare professional. Seemed like a pretty common sense law, right? Well, yeah. Of course, right, Joe? Common sense, right? Now, what's interesting about this, Joe, is a lawsuit was filed because, abortion's a sacrament amongst the left. But the lawsuit wasn't filed by any woman who was denied an abortion. So, Joe, you're probably thinking, so who was the victim? If no woman was denied an abortion because of this law, then who had what they call standing? The lawsuit was filed by abortion providers, not by any woman who was denied this, air quotes, right to an abortion. I say air quotes because there's no such thing. It's made up. But that's interesting. And they didn't even have real standing there. But the Chief Justice in the case, I'll get to this screenshot from the Wall Street Journal piece in a minute. Chief Justice Roberts, full-blown lib. There was already, Joe, a very similar case a few years ago in front of the Supreme Court. Matter of fact, almost an identical case about a Texas law about what? This is crazy time, Joe. A Texas law about admitting privileges into a hospital for doctors. You may say, well, Chief Justice Roberts, who yesterday ruled that, no, that Louisiana law that was the same as the Texas law, that law is no good. Joe, if common sense prevails, clearly Justice Roberts ruled the same way in the Texas case, right? Saying that the Texas law is no good. You'd be wrong, Joe. Because you're thinking in common sense terms. Shame on you again. Let's go to the Wall Street Journal piece. I don't know what you're thinking. Common sense? Come on, this is Chief Justice Roberts. So from the Wall Street Journal piece, showing you what a fraud Chief Justice Roberts is. A woman's right to an abortion wasn't even at issue in the June Medical Services versus Russo case. No woman seeking an abortion was a plaintiff. The case was brought by abortion providers who claim that Louisiana's requirement that they have admitting privileges would be an undue burden on the ability of a woman to obtain an abortion. Keep in mind, no woman filed suit here. Here's the stunner they go on. 4 years ago, a different court majority, Supreme Court majority, overturned a similar Texas statute. Oh, okay. With then Justice Anthony Kennedy joining the 4 liberals. Chief Justice Roberts dissented in that case. Yet on Monday, Chief Justice Roberts joined the liberals, citing his duty to follow a precedent. A precedent he disagreed with. You get what I'm saying? Texas abortion law. Chief Justice Roberts says, no good. Exact same law in Louisiana. Chief Justice Roberts, that law's good. This guy's a total phony. He may go down as the worst judicial appointment to the Supreme Court by a Republican in modern history. Now, this is the reason I wanted to discuss this after the prior story about never giving up, fighting, and even winning small victories. Activism, phone calls, emails to elected officials, to police departments, and elsewhere. Because some people are using this as an excuse to give up on the 2020 election, and candidly, it's really driving me crazy. Some of them are friends of mine. Some of them are friends of Joe's too. I didn't discuss with this with Joe before the show, but one specific guy I have a lot of respect for, who's constantly suggesting that we got to just abandon the court system. It's a total mess and we got to give up judicial supremacy rules. Listen, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. The court system stinks. I get it. We've appointed judges. Many of them have abandoned us. The simple fact, Joe, though, is many of them haven't. Clarence Thomas, rock star. Alito, rock star. Gorsuch, jury's still out. Kavanaugh, jury's still out. I'm sorry, but I'm not willing to do the boxing golf analogy and say, oh, I give up, because you're still getting your arse kicked. So the logic there is forget it, 2020, it doesn't even matter, the Trump election. Trump appointed a couple of conservative justices, and we're still losing in the courts. So again, you're in the golf analogy. Let's just give up, forget it, walk off the... When it's not a golf game, it's a boxing match. You think you're in a golf game, the other guy's beating the snot out of you. Just checking. That's your analogy. You understand your whole collective credo, this belief system is all wrong, right? You're still under the belief this is a golf game, as if there will be no consequences for your walking off the field. They will follow you and beat you with their golf clubs.
You just heard Dan Bongino.